Hi and welcome to today's video, which is a rundown of my empties for my perfume and makeup for 2023. So I've got them laid down in front of me and you'll just be seeing my hands today and I'll go through them. They're all together, there are 55 items, which I'm really pleased about. And like I say, I'll start off with, I'll try and do them in some sort of order, but I'll start off with fragrance. So I've got one that, this one wasn't in any projects. It is Madness. The top of these is very, very badly designed bottle. It's from the late 80s, early 90s, maybe 90s into noughties actually. It was by Chopard, the jewellers, and they produced Madness, which is a lychee berry incense, very peppery, pink pepper. So it's quite a love or hate sort of fragrance. It is aimed towards women, but I believe it's anyone can wear it. Mr. Bear shares this with me, and I've got plenty of backups because I had run out and then I found a batch and was able to buy them up. So that is a favourite of mine. But the packaging is absolutely awful because it was never an expensive product. It was always lower end of medium price for perfumes. Then I have two Vivian Westwood flankers for boudoir. These have been long discontinued. This one came out in 2007 and I think this probably 2009, something like that. So this one is a green floral. It does have in the dry down sandalwood, which I don't like. It wasn't noticeable because I have used several bottles of these in the past, but as it's aged, the sandalwood has become more prominent, and that is a problem for me. This one is a light berry with flowers in as well, and a musk finish. So I've enjoyed both of those, and I do actually have one each of these left as well, but I wanted to use up my back stock. So they're the three fragrances. They're not the only ones that I've used. I will actually do another video on the fragrances that I've been trying out this year, 2023. So then I've got for base, I've used one base product, a primer by Clarins. It's the Beauty Flash. This has been out about 40 years, and originally it was for tightening the skin. It was in the age where primers wasn't something that the general public consumed or used. So this was one that was for tightening skin. Now, I bought this when it was launched when I was in my 20s, and yeah, it didn't really do much, but as I've got older, it really is good at tightening. It's 15ml, this particular container. A little goes a very long way, and it is something that I'm sure I'll repurchase, but it is great for anti-aging primer and for a mask. So this is full, but I threw the one I'd cut into. It was in my empties earlier on this year, and I did throw the container, but this is another. It's just to represent what I've used. Then I've got one beauty blender. I like the original beauty blender, and this is it. It is my favourite of all the blender sponges that I've tried. So I've got this one that I've thrown out. I do tend to hold on to them longer than perhaps I should, but I do love that that brand, the original blenders. Then I have by Kiko Milan, I have Unlimited Foundation. This is a long wear. It's fine for my dry skin because I moisturise extremely well. So my skin tends to be quite shiny and oily before I apply this, even with a primer. So this works well. It is long wearing, but I do lightly set with a powder, probably because of my skincare, but I did enjoy this. It's still available, but it's been repackaged, and that is Kiko of Milan. Then I have Bare Minerals Pure Brightening Serum Foundation, which is discontinued. I got that in a sale for about £8, I think, and it is the lightest one, Bare Porcelain. It was a little dark for me, but I was able to get it to work. Really nice light medium coverage. Likewise, I've got a Pure Minerals foundation. Now, this was in last year's project plan. I didn't finish it. However, before I started this, I was actually using another. This is 40 Light Ivory. If you can see there, I was using 30 Porcelain, and it was a very orange colour. I did get it to work. It's got SPF 30, and I finished the Comrade to this, the porcelain one, in January 23. So this is just to represent the item, but hopefully I'll get this one finished in 2024 as well. Then for a concealer, I don't need to spot conceal, but I do use concealers, but I prefer generally correction products. So this is Pixie by Petra, and it was a balm, and it's quite orange, which works for me because orange is the opposite of purple. So if you have purple under eye discoloration, which I have, this was very, very good. I've got obviously very aged skin under the eyes, but I can't say that it made my wrinkles more pronounced, but I did feel this was very, very effective. But is it my favourite? No. My favourite is the Bobbi Brown corrector in Light Bisque, I think it's called. But there is an array of colours in the Bobbi Brown range. I don't think there's that many in the Pixie by Petra. I also meant to say, when I was doing foundations, I've got a Mina BB cream. This was in a project pan. This was discontinued before it went into the project. I got this in a beauty box and used it not long after I acquired the box. So this was already a discontinued product, and it is 103, so it's quite orangey. But like I say, Mina is available in the UK. It's from Spain, and they are sold in Superdrug. But this particular product has been discontinued, and I don't think it ever reached the UK. It just came in a beauty box, I think, to get rid of the last of the supplies. Looking at my face powders, I've got 2 hyaluronic hydra powders by Terry. I got these in kits. I don't like them at all. I know a lot of people do find them great for anti-aging purposes. For me, it was very drying. It settled into lines. It caused lines where there weren't any, and they caused textures. I don't really have textured skin. And it was very, very aging. So I don't have anything really positive to say about this powder. I have used the loose and I've used the pressed powders, and I really dislike them. But I managed to use both of those up. And then on to 2 products I really do like. This one was a new to me, believe it or not. It's Laura Mercier's translucent setting powder. I always considered the translucent too dark, but because my face is so pale and foundations to match it are really just off white, I prefer to add a bit of colour through the powder than through my foundation. So this one was really nice. It's a yellowy beige. There is a yellow tone to it, but it's absolutely fine. And yeah, it's absolutely wonderful. It's good for anti-aging purposes in that it doesn't enhance textured skin because of wrinkles, for example, but very, very flattering. It's supposed to be a matting powder. There is an illuminating version, but for me, I'm just careful I don't put too much on. A very light dusting with a big brush, and it works extremely well. And then I use a triangle type of pad to get into the inner eye, under eye, to set the corrector with a bit of this powder, and it works extremely well, and it does last on the face for many hours. If I was somewhere hot or out late at night, then it would need a touch up, and for that I would use the Charlotte Tilbury. Now, I got this initially a few years ago and as a tester in a beauty box, and you know, it was really, really good. This is in translucent fair, or the very lightest one. It's number 1, shade 1. Absolutely love it. I've actually got one and a backup, and this is my favourite touch-up powder that's pressed, so I do love to take this out. I just wish the packaging of the full size was better. It is a bit cheap and plasticky. Then moving on, I've got a setting mist. This is in the old packaging. It's MAC Prep and Prime. All I'll say is I've not tried the new one, which has got like graffiti writing on, but what I find with this is it doesn't spray very well. So it's not my favourite spray, but it actually, I'm not saying that it does set makeup for long-lasting purposes, but it does help meld powder products together, if you know what I mean. So I do like to use these sort of powders before I apply mascara. I really shouldn't have put it there because I actually would use a setting spray after I've used blush. So I've got a By Terry mini product. It's not actually the smallest, but it is a travel size. There it is, and it's in Compact Expert Dual Powder 7.5 Sun Desire. This is a really nice blush. It's a very, very fine but moderately pigmented powder. Really, really nice. But by Terry do not do the shades that I particularly like. So it wasn't particularly wonderful for me. It was okay. Then I have another, I'm not sure where this is from, another compact. And this was a beige coral, very, very pale, as you can see there. I managed to finish that one up as well. Then moving on, I'm going to now pull up some eye products. I have got a number of eyeliners. So this one here is Daniel Sandler waterproof. It's really, really nice, and it's one where you twist up. That was in a project pan. It was black, absolutely lovely. I'm not sure, you know, to what degree Daniel Sandler's products are being promoted, but I do think he does some really good stuff. Obviously, a lot of people know from his I think it's his watercolour tint for the cheeks, which is one of the first liquid ones to market. They were also very wonderful. So anyway, I've got this inexpensive collection, Extreme 24-hour felt tip liner. This has been around in the UK for many, many years. Really, really good. I finally managed to use it up. Then I have a very old Galan product that's been discontinued for many years. It's a champagne colour. This was in my project pan that got finished. Then moving on here, I have a couple of eyeshadows. I've got this discontinued one from M&S. Marks and Spencer's Autograph, and it's Bare Blush. So I use this to set down my eyeshadow, my eyelid, because I put foundation on, then I put a general setting powder, then I put this on, and it allows me to blend other products on top. The next item is from By Terry, and it's the Ombre Black Star in bronze. This was a mini. This was in my project pan for 2023. Really, really lovely. You can use it as a liner. You can use it as an outer third darkener. You can use it all over as a wash over the lid or boldly over the lid. So really, really like this colour. What I will say is in very hot conditions, this does break down. It's better with some sort of base coat on, I would feel, and I haven't got an empty of one. I like the NARS one. That does help it, but in normal conditions this does work very, very well. I'm going to move on to my brow products. So I've got this, which wasn't in a project pan. It's by Beauty, so it was in an inexpensive shop. I think this was made in Germany, and it's Miss Beauty or London. It could have been made in the UK or Germany. And this was a nice beige, but I don't think you can get this anymore. I've had it a while. Then I have Precisely My Brow number 3 from Benefit. Was that it? Yes. This was a mini that I got in. I would have got this in a beauty box, I think. And I do date them. This one was cohorted 22, it says. So it must have been a cohorted box that I got it in, which I don't normally get. And this one, it might have been an advent calendar. So yeah, really nice. Number 3 is about 1, 2 or 3 are generally the shades that suit me well. Though I do have a 3.5 in Goof Proof. It was a little dark, but it worked for me. So yeah, I managed to use that up in a project pan. And then I've got Wonder Brow. This was nice, but a little greenish in tone. And this is an ash blonde. So ash can turn green. It does tend to be a bit green looking. Even on the packaging, it's greenish. So this was a really nice pencil. The shade wasn't quite right, but it is refillable. But because I don't like the shades, I'm not going to be able to use this one again. And then I have a Rodial. This was a very thin, precise glam brow. I got that in TK Maxx, and this is for precision. I used that one up. I don't know if you can see the colour, it's very difficult to tell, but that was an ash blonde as well. Really, really nice. And I got that it was £22 down to £4.99. So yeah, but a lot of these pencils only last me a month or two, so that's why I managed to use quite 5 up in 2023. Then I'm going to go on to my lashes. So I've got here a base. It's the only base I use this year because I don't always use them. And it's Sky High. So it's black instead of white because they used to be white, the bases that you put on for mascara. It's got a nylon brush. What I will say, it did nothing. It went on the lower, it went onto my, only using on the upper lashes. It tended to clump near the root and it wouldn't extend out. And then when it did, it didn't aid in the building up or lengthening of my lashes. So I found this to be a complete waste of time. But I may try the L'Oreal next. But my favourite is the Clinique, which is white in colour, or the Estee Lauder, which obviously own Clinique. I think it's very similar, except the Estee Lauder base is black. So yeah, this is not something I would recommend, but it might work for other people. Then I'm going to show you the mascaras that I've used up. I've got quite a lot. I went through a lot of mascaras. So the first one here is by Inica, which is a vegan brand. I think it's an indie type brand, Bold Lash Vegan Mascara. This was very, very messy. It transferred a lot and it was very, very heavy on the lashes, which I really dislike. I don't want my lashes to feel like I've got 3 pairs of false lashes on top of them. But it has got quite a big brush. Not necessarily my favourite type of brush. I prefer a small brush, but it's not something that I would recommend. Yeah, it just was made a bit of a mess. So the next one here, unfortunately we can't get any more in the UK. It is Super Fan by Smashbox. Really, really nice, really good at fanning. But the problem is that Smashbox no longer sells in the UK territories, so they have withdrawn. I believe Smashbox are available, and they have a line with Becca Smashbox. Yeah, but they're not available in the UK. The next item is a roller lash. This is good for curling, but I have naturally curly lashes, so it really doesn't do anything for me. And I find that it is very, very crusty and makes my lashes feel very brittle. So not a favourite, but I know many people like it because of its ability to give a curl on straight lashes. Then I have a mini They're Real. And I enjoyed using that. It is a good mascara all round, and I'm sure it's got a little bobble at the end to get into the corners and get into individual lashes. Really nice, but difficult to get off, even with a bio or duo phase eye makeup remover that's oil and water. It's still very, very difficult, so I found it best to use with a dedicated oil or with a face balm that removes makeup. So not ideal, but if you wanted it to stay on your lashes for days and days, this is your mascara for you, perhaps. Then I've got a Laura Geller Drama Lash. Now, when I got round to this, it was already drying out. It seemed okay. It seemed fine enough. It wasn't particularly heavy on the lashes, which is something I'm always cautious of, but it certainly is dramatic, and it has a massive brush. But like I say, it had dried out, so I didn't get the best use out of this, but it lasted a week or 2. Then I have a Bad Girl Bang from Benefit. This one is a dramatic mascara, but you're able to, if you use it sparingly, you can actually get a nice daytime look. I'm not saying that, if you want spider lashes, you can't have them for a day. Of course you can. But for me, I like something a bit subtle in the day. This has got a plastic wand. But yes, it is quite good at giving an extreme lash sort of thing without it looking too spidery. But it depends how many layers you put on. You could layer it up and then it would go, quite spider leg. Not the look I like, but I know it's popular with many. Then I have one that I used up early in the year. This is number 7, the full 360. This has been renamed, and it was good. I know Wayne Goss really loved this product, but it's no more. They have repackaged, and I've not tried the new version because I think there are better overall mascaras out there now, so it's not something that I would buy. But it was okay. It doesn't build up particularly well. It's more what I call a daytime sort of mascara, but it is supposed to lengthen and curl. And similarly, I've got similar issue with the double wear, which I got in an advent calendar by Estee Lauder. It's zero smudge, and it doesn't smudge. Lengthening mascara. Now I've got short lashes. It didn't lengthen mine. It was very, very wet. Wanted to sit at the base of the lashes. Or even when it dried out a bit and I went back to it, it didn't lengthen. So, and it didn't provide body either. So it's not something that I would recommend for my, people, but each to their own. I'm actually using the Sumptuous Extreme by Estee Lauder. Really like it. That's what I've got at the moment. And another product which is like the Sumptuous Extreme is Legendary Lashes Volume 2 by Charlotte Tilbury. What I like about this is that I was only able to try it once or twice because it had dried out. The brush is a bit big for me, but it does coat very, very well, and it's extremely light. So the product feels nearly as light as air. It doesn't weigh the lashes down, and it does give a dramatic look. I prefer to use the bristles to get individual lashes coated because I don't like the false lash look necessarily, but I did enjoy this. But because it's so little, I think I'm going to have to buy a full-size one once I've used more from my very large collection, because I get a lot in beauty boxes and advent calendars, so I don't tend to buy mascara myself. I haven't bought mascara in several years now. So yeah, this is the last one there. Now I shall go on to my lips. So what I've got for lip balm, this one is an old one from Body Shop. It was a honey, and I do love honey fragranced items. It was a rich balm with gold fleck, so that did look nice on the lips. Equally, I've got By Terry, and this is the Balm de Rose. This is the liquid version. Really, really nice. It's one of my favourite lip products, is the Balm de Rose. This formulation isn't my favourite out of the whole of the formulations of By Terry Balm de Rose, but it is nonetheless a nice glossy product that really conditions the lips rather well, if not as well as the main balm. Then I have a Stila balm. These are discontinued. It was a very rich balm, very heavy on the lips, and a little went a long way, so it took me a long time to finish that. And I have two lip glosses. This is in Makeup Forever Lab Shine, which is like a pink lip gloss with iridescent flecks in. Now what I will say is they never name the items, Makeup Forever, they just number them, so it does get a bit confusing having to remember numbers. Then I have a Bare Minerals Gen Nude, and this is in Patent Copper. This was a really nice, I like the colour. The texture's a bit goopy, I will say, when compared with the Makeup Forever or the By Terry, but it did impart, it was more like a colour than a gloss. It was very glossy, but it provided a lot of colour and body to the lips. So I'll go on to the rest of my lip products. I've got a lip liner by Code, and I'm not sure if it's easy. I think you have to unscrew, and this is unusual because I found, how on earth do you pump it? It does that. You have to pump it up and down at the very top. Obviously it's all been used up. This was Code, I think, from Germany. I got this in a beauty box, I think. It's not something I would necessarily purchase because you didn't get much product. It was a bit of faff to use. So then I've got two liquid, which is not my favourite form of lipstick. I've got Patrick Tar, which is an undrying glossy one. It transfers easy, is sticky, but does colour the lips extremely well. So it's not something that I would choose to buy, but I got this in an advent calendar. I got this in a beauty box a long time ago, but did finish it over the years. It's Kat Von D, the original dry down liquid lipstick, and this is in I think it's in Outlaw. But that's all used up. Then I've got this lipstick from Estee Lauder. It's a gift we purchased because it doesn't have the all gold packaging, and this is a pink, a bit like a Barbie pink really, so I used this up this year. The problem with Estee Lauder, I don't particularly like the fragrance that they put in their lipsticks, but it is tolerable, but not my favourite. Then there is a little Laura Mercier in Rose, I think it was Creme de Rose. And this was a really nice rosy product that I wanted to get used up because it was in an advent calendar. All gone. And I've actually got another because another came in another beauty box. And finally, I've got a Lipstick Queen item, and I think it was honey. I can't quite read the writing, but it was something honey. And this was in a project pan, and that got all used up. Unfortunately, Lipstick Queen are no longer with us. I think they were from Australia. I'm not sure. Or London, but I always thought they were Australian. But all gone, which is a pity. But I do have a few that I need to work from that brand. And then finally, I have my nails, and I've got one Morrison's acetone-free polish remover. Now, I have started several others, but not finished them. That was the only one I actually finished. Then for my lip products, nail products, I've got 4 polishes. I've got this Nails Ink one, and it's called Kensington High Street, and it is a burgundy, a berry tone burgundy. Then I have Essie, can't remember what this is, Madison Overhue, it was called, Ovahue. And then this one is another Essie product, and this one is in Resort Romanza. So it's coming up a bit redder than it is. It is coral, a very vibrant coral. And then finally, I have a gel polish from Barry M. And this is in tiramisu, so this is a taupe. And then the item that I put under it as a builder is the Orlay base coat. Now, I have used top coats, but I've not been able to finish any in 2023 because they've gone dry before they were finished. So I haven't included them, but I do use Sally Hansen as a top coat. That's my preferred one. So all of these items here, I have used up 55 items. I think that's all of them. I'm just trying to think, did I show them all to camera? Yes, I think I did. So that's all the items. If there's any pots that I can reuse, I will do. I do recycle what I can, but others will be going in the general waste, which is a pity, but I will do my best. But can I say thank you very much for watching, as I do appreciate that your time is valuable. Hopefully I shall see you in another video. Otherwise, please take care of yourselves, and bye for now.